Hey guys, Kurt here of NK Garage, and we're back with another tool haul this week. Another flea market tool haul as usual. You guys know I love the flea market. So let's jump into it. We got a lot of interesting tools today. First off, check this out. We have a JCPenney socket set in the original case. This thing is super cool. It's not 100% complete. The original ratchet is missing, and instead we have a Stanley Professional roundhead ratchet. Still a very nice ratchet, but we have the shallow sockets here, the deep sockets in here. There's a Blackhawk extension, some random wrenches in here, like this Williams that's down here, little Williams super wrench, 1/4 inch. Another wrench here is a little Crescent, also 1/4 inch. Kit comes with a universal joint, 2" and 3/8 extension, spark plug socket. Looks like it's mostly there. I think all the sockets are there. We just need the ratchet and the extension. But JCPenney stuff's pretty cool. Nice vintage stuff. Next up, I found another socket set, but this one is Eastco. I thought this was pretty sweet. The Eastco ratchet. It's another roundhead ratchet with the quick release. So this is the exact same as the Craftsman roundhead fine tooth. A little bit of rust on there, but not a big deal. It has this foam insert in here. We've got most of the sockets. One of them was replaced with a right, and the extension is an original, the 6" extension. But everything else is here. Thought that was pretty cool. Paid $15 each for these. The next socket set, this was another nice grab. And again, 15 bucks. It was like these just kept coming. This is basically new old stock Craftsman, another roundhead ratchet, USA, and it's a SAE shallow and deep socket set. Everything's here. Everything's basically brand new. Really awesome. You can't complain about any of those. It's really awesome stuff to find. Got another socket set by SK. This is the nice green case. Open it up, and we have hex sockets. So SAE from 5/32 up to 5/8, 3/8, and then the bigger ones are 1/2 inch drive. Also got a couple of just random pieces in here. SK universal joint for 1/4 inch, small little extension for 1/4 inch, and a 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter. Pretty sweet. We got the 2003 special product focus advertising in here as well. Talking about SK, this is something I've been looking for, a nice 1/4 inch drive torque wrench for a while, and I found this is SK 74016. So inside here we have the torque wrench. Now this is a inch-pounds torque wrench because it's 1/4 drive. It goes from 30 to 200 inch-pounds. It has the flex head, teardrop style. Only thing wrong with this is the switch got broken off. So I brought this home. I didn't realize it when I bought it, but I didn't pay too much, probably around 30 bucks. And the ratchet wasn't working when I brought it home, so I opened it up. It was locked up with rust, but I got it working again. But somebody probably tried to get it to go just by really just getting on there like a gorilla. Probably just snapped that off, so I got to see if I can get a replacement switch. I contacted SK yesterday. They haven't gotten back to me yet, but at least for now it is locked in the forward position, so for torquing it'll work just fine. But I was still happy to find this. Not a easy thing to find. Nice USA made SK. With the SK buy, I also got this 6-piece SAE 3/8 drive ball end long Allen sockets. Nice set there. Got this monstrosity of an extension. Probably the longest extension I have ever gotten before. This is 34 inch long SK 3/8 drive, USA made, part number 45149. That is just a monster. On SK's website, they still have it listed. It's out of stock, but that's a $100 plus extension just for that one piece. Got 4 ratchets up here. We have the Craftsman quick release. This is the model with the oil port and the Flying V logo down here in pretty nice shape. It works. Definitely needs to be serviced, but it's a good working ratchet. Got the snap-on. This is the 6.5 inch, 1/4 inch drive ratchet, I believe. Nice shape, barely used. This one works great. Thorson 3H drive breaker bar and an SK stubby 3H drive ratchet. Very nice finds there. This one was about 10 bucks. Snap-on was 40. The Thorson was a couple bucks, and this was about 10 bucks. Moving on, we'll go through the top row and look at some of the miscellaneous. This was pretty cool. I found this Vice Grip 11-inch C-clamp pliers, made in USA in the original package. I don't think they were used, but let's open it up and take a look. All right, that was kind of a challenge to get that open, but I was just been dying to open this up. You know, there's a little bit of rust and stuff because obviously this sat around in some wet area. But these are definitely never used. It took me a while to get this open. And it even came with the slide on the soft grips. So that's pretty sweet. You know, these are the USA made Do It Peterson. And I've never gotten these before with the grips, so that was pretty cool. I think these might be keepers for the shop. As you can see, this is just a dirty mess, but I paid 10 bucks for this. It smells kind of funny, so we're just going to close that up and move on, but definitely thought that was a sweet buy. I got 2 tape measures. Craftsman 35-foot magnetic tape measure. I've got a lot of tape measures, but I don't have many that are magnetic, and that's convenient sometimes, so especially for a 35-footer. That was like 2 bucks. Then this one is vintage. It's a Budweiser. This Bud's for You, manufactured by the Irwin Company. I'm guessing this is probably out of the 1980s. I paid 7 bucks for this. Pretty cool. I like vintage advertisement stuff. I'm not really a Budweiser guy myself. You couldn't pay me to drink that beer. Nothing against the brand, or if you're into Budweiser, I just don't really like the taste. So, next up is a Craftsman telescoping gauge set. Crown logo. This I paid $20 for, and they're pretty much all in really nice, like almost unused shape. So they're old, but you know, this stuff is in really good shape. So I was happy to get that. Thought that was pretty sweet. Comes with the original box and the pouch and everything. Got an organizer, a Plano organizer, 3700 series. I paid 5 bucks for this. It's brand new. Got an Estwing hammer. This was $10. And this is a rock pick hammer. And I don't have one of these. I don't know if I need it, but I thought it was cool. It's pretty new. Maybe used just a little bit. So 10 bucks, can't complain. Got this package deal, 6-piece set of Thorson 3/4 inch drive. So you got the ratchet. Excellent working condition there. This stuff's all USA made. We have the breaker bar, the sliding breaker bar, the long extension. I think that's a 20 inch. Then we have an 8 inch and like a 3 inch extension. So nice 6-piece set, paid 60 bucks. Before we swing to the bottom, I will show you guys this 4-piece set of Miller's Falls chisels that I got. I think I paid 10 bucks for this 4-piece set. I like the old Miller's Falls stuff. This color just looks really awesome, and cleaned up and resharpened. These things would actually be pretty nice. Definitely cool little collectors there. I was happy to find them all in the same spot, so that was pretty sweet. Now on to the bottom row. First adjustable wrench, Craftsman, old school style with the Circle Y. I collect these. I don't have the 12 inch, so this one was a definite buy. 5 bucks. Next up is an 8 inch diamond with the green grips. I'm a collector of those as well. I have this one, but I just couldn't leave it behind. It was only 2 bucks. For $1, I got 8 inch Craftsman Western Forge with like the satin finish. Another $1 wrench, 8 inch Dunlap Approved Tools, USA made. Thought that was pretty cool. Got 2 4 inch adjustables. Got the Crowder 31-4 USA. and the Utica 4-inch. Got two Craftsman pocket sockets, the small guy and the 10-inch. So I think that's a 6 and a 10. That was pretty cool. Got those as a pair. And then I got the 8-inch adjuster box. That was also a sweet find. I think I paid $10 for this pair, but only $1 for the adjuster box. Got a $1 rigid 8-inch pipe wrench. No paint left on this guy, but he still works, still in okay shape. Craftsman, brand new tin snips, USA made, so I thought that was pretty sweet. That was like $3. Next up is the Knipex pliers, piano wire pliers, but you could probably use them to cut different style of wire as well. I like Knipex pliers. We have a few pairs. We don't have this, so I figured I'd pick it up. I think they're about $10, but if you know Knipex prices, that's still a pretty good price for a basically brand new tool. Got a Diamond HB28, the battery terminal pliers. Two pairs of Channel Lock 420s. These pairs were on the dollar table, so I just kind of had to snag them up. Two USA made vice grips, the 10R and the 7CR. Then I got two pairs of Utica with the light green bluish grips. It's my favorite style of Utica pliers to collect. They're both like little flush cutter pliers. And we got some screwdrivers on the end. I got a nice flat blade. Got a nice flat blade here, nice larger flat blade by Proto. Next one up is a old school Sears. This one is also a large flat blade. Little SK stubby flat blade. Stanley number 60 wood chisel. Got a Proto screw starting screwdriver. Then got a Bell System, little flat blade. Bell System stuff is pretty cool. This one was made by Stanley. SK Wayne 1/4-inch spinner, Craftsman orange handle flat blade, Craftsman professional little flat blade, and a Craftsman Phillips. I think this is a number 3. So that's it for this table. But I got a bunch of wrenches in the bin down here, so let me clear this off. We'll pull the wrenches up and show you guys the wrenches. Alright guys, we're back, and I got all the wrenches out here on the table. There was only one wrench here that was more than a couple bucks, and that is the big Proto wrench down here. But the rest of these, a lot of these came from the dollar table, and some of them were from like the $2 to $3 table, but it's all dependent on the size and the brand and all that. First up is the Plum 7/8 by 13/16 double box. Then we have a Plum 9/16 combination wrench. Got a Proto open-end engineer style wrench. Proto Los Angeles 5/8 combination wrench. 5/8 by 11/16 Proto double box ratcheting wrench. Double open Proto 1/8 by 1/16. Proto 25/32 by 11/16. Another Proto 3/4 by 7/8. 3 combination wrenches in a row, 7/8, 15/16, and 1-inch, all Proto professional. And then of course the big guy down here, the 1 3/4-inch Proto. This is a nice one to have. This was the $20 wrench. And for $20 I just gotta have this kind of stuff. So next over here, a couple miscellaneous. Got a Blue Point double box, 11/16, 13/16, Walden Worcester, 13/16 by 7/8, Mac 19mm combination wrench, Williams Super Wrench double box. Got two Eastco, the 5/8 by 9/16 starter manifold wrenches, basically brand new, and a little SK 11mm combination wrench. Everything on the other side of the table is all Craftsman. There are 2 Chinese wrenches in here, these two, but everything else is United States. So, you guys probably remember a couple weeks ago, I picked up this sweet little wrench holder at the Field of Tools. And I've been dying to put the wrenches that belong on here. So when I saw these, this whole stack here is all Flying V double open wrenches, which is what I believe goes on that rack. So in a minute, we'll actually fill that rack up and see how it looks. But we got everything from the 1/4 by 5/16 all the way up to the 1 1/4 by 1 5/16, which is actually bigger than that wrench holder will take. For this pile, other than the 2 Chinese wrenches that stick out like a sore thumb down here, the rest of these are older V series. So you got the single line V. These are all double open wrenches. We got up to 1 1/8 and down to 3/8. Got two double box, 1 16 by 1 1/4. That one is an old school, before they even had the flying V, just the double lines. The other one is a V series 1/2 inch by 9 16. We got 4 metric double open. This one is probably the most interesting, the 22 by 24 millimeter flying V. It's pretty rare to find the metric stuff from this era, so that was pretty cool. Combination wrenches, just kind of random, 22 millimeter 7/8, 11 16, 15 millimeter 13 millimeter 7 16. 2 line wrenches down at the bottom. Got a 5/8 by 11 16 and also a 5/8 by 3/4. Then we got a bunch of tap wrenches over here, not really a set, just kind of miscellaneous pieces, but they're in good shape. We got 1 Saltus wrench, 1/2 inch, and 2 Craftsman starter manifold wrenches, the 9 16 by 5/8 and the 5/8 by 3/4. So now it is time to fill up this wrench rack. I've been waiting to do this. So we'll start here, start loading them on. So there you have it. We're missing 1 wrench, but the rest of them, this one's in backwards. The rest of them are here. So that's pretty good for one haul to fill up everything but 1 wrench. And of course it's, you know, the one with the 19/32, so kind of a weird size. But this is going to make a good wall hanger. Not sure exactly where it's going to go yet. Probably will come back to my shop, unless we can find a place for it here. So before we finish up today's video, I want to go show you guys a quick little extra haul that we got. There was a estate sale down the road the other day. We went there and we picked up a couple things. So they didn't have too many tools, but they did have a barn with some tools in it. So this is what we came home with. First up, we got the Greenard Arbor Press. This is number 3. And somebody repainted it red at some point. We don't have the lower base, just the top part, but that's perfectly fine for us. And we brought it home. We paid $100, brought it home and found out that the spline shaft was stripped out on 2 sections. So I'm in the middle of kind of fixing this up. Looks like a mess right now, but what I did is I slathered on some JB weld, and then I clamped it to the other half of the mechanism here to kind of cast in some of these shapes roughly, and then I'll have to take the Dremel later on and kind of reform that out. But we had 2 strip teeth. It was working with the way it was, but we'd rather have the teeth, and we figured we'd try the JB weld method, see what we can do for that. So that was $100. Otherwise it's in pretty good shape. This was only $1, 6-inch grinding wheel by Craftsman. It is made in China, but it's brand new. You know, just sat in the shop, a little dirty, but it's never been used. This was a sweet little find. I found this in the barn. I opened up an old cookie tin, and inside I found this little gem. This is the 4 to 6-inch Crestaloy steel made by Crescent in Jamestown, New York. The double-ended adjustable wrench, and it's in amazing condition. There's no owner's marks, no rust. Everything works perfectly. I paid a couple bucks for that. And then Nick found this Torin Big Red Jacks engine leveler. They had this priced at $35, and we probably should have negotiated that down. I went on eBay and saw that you could still buy these brand new for about that amount of money. So it's used, but it's all there. So it wasn't really a steal, but you know, it's still a good usable tool, and at least we didn't pay more than retail, because that would have sucked. But just want to show you guys that. And then there's one more item. Nick bought this item because it's kind of like a nostalgic thing for him, but we got to go outside to see it because it's a little bit bigger than a tabletop item, I guess. So this here was Nick's sweet little pickup. This is a John Deere little kid's toy pedal tractor, and definitely vintage. This is made with an aluminum cast. It looks like there's a lower steel frame down there for the, I assume this has got a chain drive, and it's a cool little thing. So when Nick was a young child, he had one similar to this. It's actually over here on the other side of the house. Now this one is a Western Flyer, and this is the same one that Nick used to ride as a child. So for him, he thought it was just kind of a nostalgic thing, and he wants to make sure he has at least 2 of them so that when he has kids someday, at least there can be 2 riders going on at once. So that was pretty cool. I've always also liked it. Currently they are kind of just garden ornaments, but when Nick has children one day, they'll be riding them as well. Alright guys, that's it for today's tool haul. I'm super happy about my wrenches, but also was pretty excited to get all those small little socket sets that we found. The JCPenney, the Eastco, the Craftsman, even the SK stuff. Those are all really great finds. Let me know what you guys think is the coolest find of the day, and if anybody has any information on that torque wrench. That is the 1/4" drive teardrop head. I'm looking for a repair kit if anybody knows how I can get one. I did contact SK, waiting for them to get back to me. Hopefully they might have something, but we'll see. You know, it works. It only goes in forward, and you have to kind of jiggle the switch to put it in reverse, which is fine for torquing, but I'd like it to be back to its original state. But that's it. Thank you guys again, and leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think. We'll see you guys on the next one.